What is up, guys? Los and Anthony here with the MalcoCast. Thank you guys for joining us. It is a Sunday, chilly Sunday over here in California. Today, Anthony and I are going to be talking about Joey Belladonna, the original singer for Anthrax, and how he is reluctant to sing Only, a song that is not his song.
Well, he was initially reluctant.
Initially, that's correct. Because the news is, as Anthony and I were scouring the internets, the interwebs, the dark webs, all of the webs, we saw this story on Blabbermouth, as we usually do for you guys on the MalcoCast. And Anthony said that this was a good story for us to talk about.
Yeah, I thought so. It's an interesting story because being a performer, you were a singer in a band, so you can easily put yourself into Belladonna's shoes, I would think, how would you feel like if you were in your band, they kicked you out, and then years later they brought you back and wanted you to sing those songs? How would you feel about it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I have thoughts on that, but just to serve as a little primer for everyone. So he recently went on a Sirius XM's Trunk Nation with Eddie Trunk, and he talked about his initial reluctance to do the song. It was a song by John Bush, who replaced him in Anthrax, and it hadn't actually been performed live since 2011, but during the band's recent tour, they added it to their summer 2020 US tour set list. So as a result, Joey, as the singer of the band, found himself in a position where he had to sing the song. So some of his comments, kind of hit home to me, and I'll expand on that a little bit later. But he just said, here it says, "Hey, it's just another song to me. Not to say it's better or worse than the stuff that I originally recorded with Anthrax. It's just I have no problem singing it. I personally love doing our catalog. I'd rather be doing our music from the albums I recorded with Anthrax, but I know we wanted to spread it around a little bit, show a little bit from the other records. But obviously, I do songs from Anthrax's debut album, Fistful of Metal 2, and I did that. God, I did everything but two songs off of that record for quite a long time. Only is cool. It works good. It's a change of pace. It's a different kind of vibe." So later on in the article, he goes on to say, for me, obviously, I was in and out of Anthrax and all of that crap before we got back together and doing it all again. Things were starting to simmer down. I didn't want to go down the road of like, oh, he's better. Oh, yeah, he's great. And that stuff got to be really just taxing on me. And I was like, I don't want to go there. So I was kind of reluctant at first. But eventually, I said, I'll do that song.
What struck you about that?
Well, what struck me about that is that number one, he got over himself. He got over himself, acted like a professional, and went out there and did the song. Because we've seen in many instances throughout the history of music where an old singer, parts ways with the band, gets kicked out or leaves on their own accord and returns to the band and is asked to do songs that, the other guy did.
Right.
And I mean, it happened to Malcontent as well, right? I mean,
Yeah, we went through that situation. Like when we parted ways with Heath, Bryce, he, for a few months, he was actually singing Heath's songs. But for us, out of fairness for both of them, I think, we tried to write songs as fast as we could for Bryce.
mm-hmm.
I don't know, because I've always looked at it as like I didn't want Bryce to sing on Heath's songs because he didn't write the lyrics, so he doesn't know where Heath's heart was with those lyrics, you know. So, um,
It's difficult. Yeah, I mean,
but for like a band like Anthrax, though, like that song "Only," if I remember right, it was a pretty big hit for them. You know, it was their first album with for the song was on the Sound of White Noise, you know, and it was, if I remember right, the first single that they released, and it's a different vibe. I understand what Belladonna's saying there. It's a different vibe because that song also came out around the time of the grunge era, dude, and
yeah,
you know, Anthrax's stuff with Belladonna was more thrash metal.
yeah.
Belladonna had the higher register where he could hit those high, you know, notes and like. But for the early Anthrax stuff, his voice was perfect, you know, like. And so yeah, when they did Only, dude, like yeah, it is a different vibe, and John Bush does have he's got a lower voice than Belladonna, and they are two completely different singers, dude. Like. They're both great in their own ways, their own right, though, dude. Like I enjoyed both of them as singers for Anthrax. I mean, I preferred Belladonna just because that was the stuff I grew up listening to. That's what got me, what I fell in love to with Anthrax was the Belladonna stuff, you know. So
Yeah. And you know, I've been a singer too in bands. I have never been put in that position, but I would like to think that if I were to be put in that position, that I could eat my own ego and go out there and just do a great job, because in the end, at the end, it's, you know, fans have their favorite songs, you know, and they
right,
want to hear Only. And if they want to hear Only and you're the singer, well, it's your professional duty as the singer to deliver that song in the best way you can. You know, for me, if I was put in that position, I would probably go out there and just murder it, just kill it. Be like, wow, you know, I would want the fans to say, well, he just slayed that song. Are you sure he's not the one that sung it? You know, I want them to be impressed with my rendition of the song. But since
right.
we're talking about the voices, I figure it'd be fun to kind of like do a comparison. Let's listen to
Let's
the
try
original.
it.
Let's listen to the original video, and then let's listen to a live recording of
From each singer. It's from each singer, right?
Yeah, yeah.
One's with John Bush and the other one's with Belladonna.
Right. So let's queue up here. Let me queue up the
Put the original, John Bush's version.
this is the original, all right?
Okay.
Let's see what this is about. And here we go with this. And I'm not going to play it all. I just kind of want to get a sense of the
Right.
of the voice. So here we go.
Man, this takes me back, dude, to like being a pimple-faced kid watching this video on MTV.
All right, guys. Now we're gonna check out Joey Belladonna's version of Only. This was recorded in Sacramento, near our hometown.
What
Back in July 30th of 2022. So let's check out Joey's rendition here of Only.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear this. I've never heard him. Yeah, I've never heard him sing this song. So
Let's check it out. Good job, dude. Got that register. Yeah, man.
I love it, dude. I think Belladonna kills it, dude. I thought it was great.
I thought it,
Yeah, I love Belladonna, dude. Fucking, he does it justice, dude. So
dude,
good on him, dude.
he did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. I could hear like what you were saying about his registers, like "Wah, wah," you know, like he was going up. I think the original is really cool too. The live version, you know, obviously it's going to be a little bit rougher than the recorded studio version. I'm with you. I agree with you. I think he killed it. I think he did a great job, and you know, it's good to see that a singer could get over their ego and go out there and be a professional. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. No, dude. And I'm glad that song's back in their set because it is a good song, dude. Actually, when we're done with this, I'm gonna go listen to the album, dude, because I haven't listened to that album in a good long time, and there's some great songs on that album.
There's some great jams, huh? Yeah.
I love Anthrax, dude. I got to see them in 2019, right? On tour with Slayer. It sucked though because apparently there was something wrong with the stage, and Anthrax only got to play like 5 songs, and it was the only time I've ever got to see Anthrax live. And so they only did 5 songs, dude. And I really want to catch them on their own tour, you know, their own headlining tour, because they're a fun band, dude. They're very energetic, especially the early stuff with Belladonna, dude. Like, you should give it a listen, Carlos.
I'll definitely check it out because, you know, to be honest with you, the only song that I know of, and it's kind of shameful. I might get my metal card taken away for this one, but the only
Public Enemy and fucking Anthrax.
Yeah, Bring the Noise. That rotation on MTV all the time.
Yeah, man, your metal card's suspended right now.
I know. Until I can hear some more. I'm suspending my own metal card. Okay. Until I can hear some more Anthrax.
Like, you started Among the Living is a great album. To me, it's their best album. State of Euphoria is the album after Among the Living. That's another great album. Persistence of Time is after State of Euphoria, and that was the album that broke them, dude. Persistence of Time. That's a great album. But then after that's when they parted ways with Belladonna, and then Sound of White Noise was the album after Persistence, and
yeah, wasn't that their biggest album though? Sound of White Noise.
Yeah, because it was their most commercial album.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell by the video. I mean, there was money spent in that video.
Yeah.
So
excellent.
but after that, I think it was what Stomp 442, and they kind of lost me at that album. And that was I want to say they did that album and maybe one more with John Bush, and then after that they parted ways and brought Belladonna back.
I wonder what happened with John Bush though. Did they? He wasn't just. They just kicked him out, right?
I don't really remember. I forget. Maybe they just mutually parted because I think they're still all friendly and shit like that. So I don't think there's any bad blood between them, and I think he just maybe wanted to go do his own thing. I don't know. I forget.
That's good. Yeah.
So
well, we want.
Yeah, there was a documentary like last year that Anthrax was putting out on Instagram, and John Bush was in it. Like talking about his time with the band. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to catch that too. Yeah, I'm interested after hearing these two renditions. I'm more interested in the band than I ever was before. So thank you for suggesting this topic.
Right on.
Well, hey, in the comments, we want to know what you guys think of Belladonna and Only, and we want to know who you think is better. We want to know how you think he did, and yeah, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and give this video a like, and we will see you next time over on the MalcoCast. Peace.
Peace.